Good morning. My name is Dr. Christine Lee, and I am procrastination coach here with you to give you another set of tips for improving your life and getting away from procrastination. Today, the topic is 6 tips for staying focused in your life. And of course, when we're focused in life, I think things tend to go better in both work and your personal life and in your health and in your finances. So let's get going. I think our focus is one of the most critical skills that we have. And I think we can really screw with our focus. We can get ourselves overwhelmed. We can get ourselves depleted. We can get ourselves nervous. And all of those energy drains can screw with our focus. And then we find that we feel insecure, that we feel unprepared, that we feel like things are going to go awry. My dog is kind of fussing underfoot, so I'm worried about that too. But let's get back to focus. I have 6 simple tips for you so that you can stay focused too. The first step is one of my standby go-to tips, and that is to simplify. When we take the extra step to figure out how to simplify what we're doing, maybe do a tip sheet, maybe ask for help, maybe dump some of your clutter before you start your work. When we do that extra step, we end up allowing our focus to align with our needs. When we need something done, our body and mind can be together in alignment to get ourselves to get to the finish line. And when we get to the finish line, we always have those good feelings, that feeling of joy, that feeling that we've overcome the barrier. So let's try to simplify first so that we can get more focused later. The second tip that I have for you is to strategize. I can tell you a story from my trip just yesterday when I was in Florida, that just using the Yelp app to find where to eat. I know that's a simple thing that most of you already do, but it was new to me, and I just felt, wow, this extra moment of strategizing where I was going to eat, how quickly I could get there, how quickly I could get in and out of a place, really helped me to feel calm for the rest of the trip, and that I think was useful for me. So take the extra minutes to figure out, how am I thinking? Think about your thinking. Do a higher level analysis of what's going on. Save yourself some time and energy, and thereby increase your focus. The third tip is also a very important one, and that is to avoid personalizing what you're doing. We all have a way of saying, oh, this is so important to me. This means so much. People are watching what I'm doing. People really rely on me for the outcome. But when we do that too much, we end up screwing with our focus. We end up feeling like it's all resting on us, that it has to be a certain way, that if it flops in the end, that it's a really bad reflection on us. And maybe these things are true in the smallest way, but when we harp on that fact and when we just get ourselves flustered and overwhelmed with how important things are because of us, then we screw with the focus. We screw with our focus and we become paralyzed. Actually, we eliminate our focus because we decide that we can no longer act, and that is devastating to our focus and to our productivity. So remember to avoid personalizing the work that you do. Moving on, the fourth tip is similar to the third tip. Don't be perfect. Don't insist on perfection. If there's anything that'll make you nervous, it is feeling like you have to make something perfect. It's okay to feel like you want to do your best. That I have no problems with. But when you saddle yourself with the heavy feelings and the stress and the burden of thinking that you have to be perfect in everything you do, then things don't get done, honestly, and you never get that positive feeling at the end, at that finish line. So one way to retain good focus is to remember that things don't have to be perfect. They just have to get done. Done is better than perfect. Always remember that little fact. Okay, 5th tip, don't make yourself afraid. And I would say fear is one of the biggest energy blockers and one of the biggest focus blockers there is. And of course, there are hundreds of thousands of different fears, I think. I don't know them by heart, but I could list a few of them. There's a fear of uncertainty. There's a fear of judgment. There's a fear of your dog barking in the middle of your live stream. There's a fear of your technology messing up. And when we focus on the fears, our focus gets drained because we forget what is the original point of why we sat down to work. And that, of course, is what we need to make the priority. That's what we always have to get back to. So eliminate the fears and that chatter of fear talk in your head before you sit down to work. So clear the clutter, clear the demands for perfection, clear the fears that you're not good enough, and clear the personalizing of what you're doing. And then you'll know, okay, the work just needs this of me. Let me do that work and let me get that done. And finally, I think I'm at the 6th tip. I just threw this tip in here, but I thought it was useful. I want you to look more closely at the things around you. Use your intuition as much as it comes up for you. It might be that little voice saying, well, maybe I'm forgetting something, or maybe this person isn't above board and isn't how he seems. That's actually someone I met in Florida. I had to really ask him a bunch of questions because he was trying to scam me at the rental car desk. So that's a side story, but use that intuition. Don't use the intuition, and don't be afraid to protect yourself from drains on your focus, from people who might be unsavory characters, from anything that might take you away from that feeling of being centered. It is okay to challenge your environment, to explore your environment, to expand and push out your environment so that you feel like you can work at your best self. So I think I already kind of summarized the tips in the middle, but I want you to simplify, strategize, not personalize things, not gravitate towards your fears. Think about your thinking, ask those questions, and you'll find, I think, that you have a lot more focus in the middle of your working life than you did at the beginning. Because when we start working, we end up knowing where we're going. So I encourage you to start that project that you've been stuck on right after listening to this little video, and remembering that you are in charge of that an essential skill of focus, and that you can get to the finish line. Just aim for that finish line. That's all you need. You have the skills and the talent and the drive and the intuition that you need to get you there. Okay? So again, I am Dr. Christine Lee, procrastination coach. Thank you for listening to me live, and thank you for listening to me on the replay. I have a gift for you because you've been listening to me on these videos. Today, my gift is the workbook that's called Clear Your Fears, the Clear Your Fears workbook. There are 10 days of exercises, simple and clean exercises, so that you can stay clear of your fears and retain your focus for the best. All right, I hope you grab that bonus, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.